I'm going to do a new search. And I'm going to search for, as an organization name, oops, sorry, North Central. And you can see it's offering me some choices, and I'm going to pick the North Central Community Association as an organizational name search and search for it. And I'm going to look at the main record for this organization, just because it's an organization close to our heart as the parenting founder of the feast, so to speak. I want to identify for you what you see when you look at a record. You will see in this section all fields that have information in them. There's quite a significant number of fields that are possible to be completed in the database, but it will only show you those things where there's actually information to be had. If there is no Twitter, then it's not going to show you the Twitter field. And if there's no Facebook, it's not going to show you the Facebook field. And if there's no intersection identified, well, in this case there is, but supposing there wasn't any information in the intersection field, it would not show it to you. The record itself is divided up into sections with details at the top, with some sort of, ancillary information about names. Then it gets into a section called Location, Telephone, and Internet. And in this case, what we see are exactly those things: the site location, which community it's in, what its intersection is, and an address and map, and what bus routes. These bus routes are linked because you can actually click on them and identify everything that's on that bus route, if you should happen to want to know that. Assuming, of course, that the data is fully indexed to bus routes, which is actually quite a challenging task, and I'm not sure that it's 100% in the database. So for things like a bus route, that might be a search that would be of interest to look at. But without checking with Angie how comprehensively the data has bus routes in it, I would be a little bit cautious about using that as a guarantee that you're seeing everything that's along the road of where this bus travels. What we see next is contact information. In this case, the name of the executive director has been provided. Since there has been no phone number or separate email provided for this executive director, you should assume that the office phone and the organizational email is what you would use to reach this person. Next, we have a description. Tells us about accessibility, gives a description of the service, what area is served by this organization, when it operates, what its hours are, when it meets, whether or not there are fees, what languages services are provided in, and whether or not they have print material. This, I believe, is the newsletter. There's a cross-reference in this record for the alternate initials, or the short form for the organization. So you can actually search that and come up with the organization. It tells you when it was established, and with their not-for-profit board, when their elections are held. So there's a number of things now that you know about this organization that you may not have known before. Some of this might be what the information you need at that moment. Others, things you may not need for this particular search that you've done. So once you become familiar with using the database, you'll quickly know which part of the data you want to look at. And if you're just looking for the website, it's located near the top of the record and you'll be able to get to it quickly. You can also click on it, and when you do, you are taken to the website of the organization where you can do more exploring for more detail about what the organization does. That opens up in a new tab, in my case, or a new window. I might, and you'll recall our little list that we were doing, I might want to include this record in my little list that I'm building up here for whatever purpose, and I can click Add Record. My list has now gone up to 5 records because I would like to have this one as well.